I was in Boston a week ago, and I had the privilege of, I was training some young folks who were trying to do some work next year around Freedom Summer. And during the middle of the training, they started to do all these chants about freedom and justice. And it dawned on me a week after we had won what exactly we were able to accomplish in Illinois. And in the middle of that, I sort of broke down and I started to cry, because I was like, you know, together, and we ought to really acknowledge that, together we changed the course of history. And it is not often, it is not often that we get to say that. And so, you know, when I was brought on as the field director, John Kohep, our campaign manager, asked me to build a field program that the representatives we were targeting would literally be afraid of. And that is what we did. And over 3 months, we made 50,000 unique contacts to representatives. We organized phone banks all across the state. In 1 week, we had about 45 phone banks up and running. We had hundreds of people volunteering. We had people knocking on doors. And then we had people meeting with the representatives to let them know that folks were serious about marriage equality. And one of the most prominent meetings, I remember a meeting with David Harris where we had this older, white, conservative woman, when David Harris talked about tradition, we had this woman say to him, she said, in this country, slavery was a tradition. And we had the courage to move beyond that. And so the work that we did was literally about making sure that in 20, 30 years, that's what people will say about not only our state, but about our country, that we got it right. And that the people in this room were a part of that. And I want to acknowledge, so the coalition was made up of a number of groups. We had the chair of the coalition was Jim Bennett from Land Illegal. Our campaign manager was John Kohep, who was on leave from AFSCME. We had the Civil Rights Agenda, the Human Rights Campaign, ACLU, the Chicago Urban League, Citizen Action Illinois, Land Illegal, Equality Illinois, and Freedom to Marry. And those 8 groups came together to build what became Illinois Unites for Marriage. We hired in 7 days 20 field organizers, and we shipped them out across the state to work in 38 districts for 4 months. And tonight there are a few of them. Robert Schultz is here, one of the organizers who worked on the South Side. Damon Hainline is here, one of my deputy field directors. Damon is a data manager, a god among data managers. He handled all of our data, and there was a lot of data. I want to acknowledge Benjamin, who led our faith outreach and did a tremendous job of engaging people. When we realized that we needed some extra muscle to move our Southside program, we brought in William McNary and Jane Miner, and they ran our canvas team, and they knocked on doors in every corner of the South Side of Chicago. Folks held them up with guns, but they kept knocking on doors to make sure that these reps knew that people all across the state were in support of marriage. And so I am so incredibly proud of the work that we did, and for every person who volunteered, that took time out of their day to volunteer. I want to thank you.
In this country and in this state, we know where it rests. It's with the Catholic Church. It's not with the Black Church. It's with the white leadership of the House. It's not with the Black leadership of the House. We know our allies have always been diverse. There have been people of all races for us and all races against us. We must not let them divide us. They want to divide us.
I need to apologize as a clergyman and as a bishop in the Lord's Church for the arrogance and the ignorance and the obstinacy that we have had for so many years, for the abuse, the mistreatment, the demeaning attitude we have had toward gay people, our brothers and sisters who are same-gender loving. I apologize on the behalf of millions who may not feel the courage to say I'm sorry.